Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Poolside once again. We have the entire winter to sit in a basement. We got to be outside. The pool's still green, still looking into the vandal situation there. Shane Gillis was on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, and I have a premise for you. Jimmy Fallon, very talented. I stick up for him a lot, but he's just not a good interviewer. I have some proof. Here he is asking Shane Gillis about the concert in Philadelphia where Shane Gillis sold 76,000 tickets plus. And here's Jimmy Fallon doing something vaguely resembling an interview.
Last month, though, you broke the Guinness World Record for most tickets sold for a comedy show by a solo comedian. Over 76,000 tickets were sold. Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, talk to me.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Did you ever think that was possible? Do you have any idea that you could fill that? How did you even gamble to think that you could?
No, I didn't. I don't think anyone should do that again.
No. It was a great experience.
But... No, it was cool. No, I sold. I did a show in Philly like 2 years before, and it sold pretty well. And then I was at an Eagles game, and the guys that work the stadium were like, "You should do a show here."
Yeah, sure.
And I thought that was crazy. And then,
of course,
they kept pushing it. And it was funny because they were like, "We're gonna have to move it around the World Cup." And I was like, I'm gonna bomb.
Like, yeah, you're like, dude, I'm in the same sentence as the World Cup. What is going on in the world?
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah,
but it was a crazy show, right?
It was crazy.
Did you bring us any special guests?
Yeah, it was Meek Mill came out first and sang "Dreams and Nightmares," which that was cool. We had Bam Margera introduce them.
Oh my god,
yeah, that was awesome.
That's
and
then,
great. Kelsey was up there, and then my buddies Matt and Big J, and then I brought out Chappelle. And then, yeah.
Come on, that's all you. Come on.
My favorite was there was a surprise musical guest at the end, and I know the entire stadium thought it was going to be Zach Bryan, and it was I don't know if you can tell, it was a very white audience. It's about 77,000 white people.
Yeah, that's a different record. It's a different record you broke. Congratulations.
Yeah. And it ended up being I brought out 3-6 Mafia, which. Yeah.
That's an audience.
I thought it was very funny. Thank you, Roots.
Conan O'Brien Must Go, Season 3. August 21st, there is a trailer. I have scoped this down for pacing.
Been many places, I've seen many things.
This is the best travel show. The other celebrities, they look like a wax figure.
Not me, though, right?
Yeah, all natural.
Do you think I should do maybe a little something?
A little on the forehead.
Tell me when I get to the right amount.
All right, that's enough.
Right there?
You let the white person in, and boom, it's a takeover. It's a full takeover.
I'm not just a white person. I'm the whitest person ever.
Let's stop right here. Don't make it worse.
You're talking to the wrong guy. Because I love to make it worse.
The cops are mad at John Oliver. Oliver took a swing at a Southern California Police Department on HBO, and the Rialto Police Department blasted John Oliver after he criticized the agency's use of privately owned security cameras, accusing John Oliver of painting a misleading picture of how the technology is actually used. The department said John Oliver's segment did not accurately reflect how the Rialto Police Department utilizes this technology or the safeguards that govern its use. During the segment, apparently Oliver had claimed that the police effectively pressured new businesses into giving police access to their cameras in exchange for permits, joking the business owners will have to decide whether opening a nail salon is worth being a narc on passers-by. Captain Lamont Corker, a department spokesperson, said no business has ever been denied permission to open because it chose not to participate in the program. There's a whole back and forth there. I'll let them fight it out, but I like this joke from John Oliver, who said, and if you worked at the Chick-fil-A, just know that on one Tuesday afternoon, Rialto had 5 of your interior characters open for 2 hours straight, which feels a little weird to me. Oliver also joked that getting secretly watched in your swimsuit is not supposed to be one of the perks at staying at a Days Inn. The Hollywood Reporter profiled Jimmy Kimmel, and they write, to say Jimmy Kimmel had an eventful year is to utter even more of an understatement than Regis Philbin had a Bronx accent. I worked with Regis Philbin. I never questioned his accent at all, maybe because I have a Queens accent and I'm from New York City. I never thought Regis had a Bronx accent. Did he? I'm not sure that's accurate. We digress. THR said it was an intense TV season for you. What will you remember most? Kimmel said, no question. What I will remember most is the reaction to our unscheduled vacation. which went so far beyond what I could have expected. I'll never forget the support from friends, strangers, and even those who generally make me throw up. I will tell you here, that was such a huge story. I use AI to analyze the stats on the show to help me tweak the content a little bit. You know, I want the show to grow. I like when people listen to the show. I try and talk about things that people care about. And that whole Kimmel thing actually did bigger numbers than the whole Colbert Gate. And every day the AI is like, what were you talking about then? Why don't you do more of that? I'm like, what do you want me to do? Should I call the president and ask him to take Kimmel's show away? I could do that. Could also ask him what to do about this green pool I have here. And apparently Kimmel agreed to this to promote Millionaire, because then the conversation went to Millionaire. What's the hardest thing about hosting Millionaire? Kimmel said pronunciation. Even the word pronunciation is hard to pronounce. A celebrity he'd like to land on the show. The Obamas would be a fun team. Also, Hall & Oates. Hall & Oates don't get along anymore. One of them sold the publishing rights and the other is mad at them. They don't get along. THR, we'd be putting up another billboard for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert to win the Late Night Emmy. Kimmel said, we're hoping this time they'd get one for us. THR, does John Oliver need to be stopped now that he's back in your category? Jimmy said, John Oliver deserves every award that gets awarded. Star Trek ruiner Patton Oswalt is a fan of HBO's The Pitt. Patton was in Us Weekly's 25 Things You Don't Know About Me feature. Patton said, Season 1 of The Pitt was the last thing I binged. The whole show was amazing, but episode 12? Then he spoiled episode 12. That was a masterclass. Acting, writing, directing, all of it. Had to watch that episode twice. We also learned that the Star Trek ruiner is a night owl who really wants to be a morning person. Growing up, he idolized Charles Schultz, you know, the guy that drew Snoopy, Vincent Price, and the $6 Million Man. His first car was a 1985 Nissan Sentra, which he called a death box with a tape player. His go-to karaoke song is Knock 3 Times by Tony Orlando and Dawn. Patton says, I love banging the mic stand on the ground during the knock, knock, knock part. A great drunk belter. Celebrity crush growing up was either Joy Harmon from Village of the Giants or Josie from Josie and the Pussycats. Leslie Jones has revealed the SNL host who was effing up so bad during rehearsals, the entire cast thought it would be one of the worst shows ever. So who was it? It was Woody Harrelson, who was not good. But once the camera started rolling, Leslie said the man became a whole different person. Jones was on a recent episode of First We Feast's Slice Joint and said, when Woody came at the time, I think he was smoking weed and he was not good in rehearsal. He was effing up so bad, we were like, this is going to be one of the worst shows ever. Once the camera started rolling, that man became a whole different person. We were quick changing. We're like, Woody, you're killing it. He was like, did you guys think I was going to do bad or something? And we were like, yes, MFer, you were effing up, yes. Johnny Mac likes a good comedian beef. Well, Jeff Dye said he caught fellow stand-up performer Laura Kightlinger scrawling an insult across Jeff Dye's Tesla windshield after the two performed on the same comedy show. That's not cool. Don't do that. Dye says the moment was caught on his car's built-in security cameras. Dye went on Gutfeld and posted images from a video he said was captured by his Tesla security cameras and said he had never met Laura before the show and that she'd seemed friendly enough beforehand. Though the two didn't speak and she left before he went on. He said he assumed she hadn't realized who car it was when she wrote douche in the fog on the windshield, calling it strange behavior for a 60-year-old adult. I wonder, in his theory, whose car he thinks she thought it was that she would write douche in the fog on the windshield. Well, it turns out Laura confirmed writing the word and posted her own account of the exchange along with screenshots of messages she said she later sent Mr. Dye. She said she'd been bothered watching him criticize a comic who had just performed and argued the reaction to her post should be embarrassing to tough guy misogynists. She apologized and called her decision impulsive, saying she should have raised her concerns with Mr. Dye directly rather than writing it on his car. Dye pushed back on Twitter, denying that he was crying out and insisting he was simply holding her accountable. His management later gave Fox News Digital a statement asserting that his car wasn't otherwise vandalized. Peacock has dropped a first look at its upcoming archaeological comedy called Dig. Dig stars Amy Poehler as Elise, a member of a dedicated group of archaeologists and less dedicated college students who spend their summer working at a dig site in Greece. All 10 episodes will debut Monday, November 23rd on Peacock. We are told their discovery of a rare artifact sends them on the adventure of a lifetime. I can't wait. The Baltimore Banner is mad at Eric Andre. Currently on a roundtable, Eric Andre said, I'm never going to Baltimore again. May that city burn to the ground for what they do to me. He did not explain what it is that Baltimore does to him. John Cena, on the roundtable, jumped to Baltimore's defense and said, don't do that. That's the birthplace of National Bohemian Beer. It says from the land of pleasant living on the can. Don't do that to Baltimore. Now, the Baltimore Banner points out, while National Bohemian famously got its start in Baltimore in the late 1800s, the now Pabst Brewing Company-owned beer is no longer brewed in Baltimore. Cena kept going. He said, Brooks and Frank Robinson, come on. He then name-dropped Hall of Famers Cal Ripken Jr. and Jim Palmer, but it remains unclear why Eric Andre does not like Baltimore other than experiencing, quote, a trauma there, but he did not elaborate. And that is your comedy news for today. See you tomorrow.